What's going on, guys? Kyle here back again. Aloha, mother fathers. It is the Kyle React series, episode 3 officially, and today we are bearing through it. I have a lot of thoughts, but we'll keep these obviously to 3 and 3. Kyle Reacts is back with AEW Dynamite, of course, for tonight being, holy crap, what is it, June 4th? It's June 4th, 2025. Um, Let's break down into this, and as you guys have seen so far in the series, I talk usually about three things that I like, three things that I didn't like. It's 3 and 4 today, but we'll make this quick, unlike the show. First, Julia Hart. I actually really enjoyed that. The presentation was nice. I know that I guess Sky Blue's been out for some time now with an injury, whatever that case is. I'm not too sure. Again, I don't watch AEW religiously, but the presentation was cool. She looks a little different. She acts a little different. I know obviously they lost that match. Time with Tony Storm is fantastic. We already know that's one of the few things that me and Anthony have been able to agree on. That she's been a great character, but like Julia Hart a lot, I think she could be one of those. She's the female Darby Allin, possibly of AEW, where if she's given an opportunity and doesn't decide to climb a mountain, she'll do pretty well. Also, always love seeing Christian back on TV, looking really good. He's one of the best promos. Again, I didn't watch the match later on with Nick Wayne and Collision. I agreed to do AEW Dynamite, not the second show in Collision. So, nevertheless, Christian still shows that he can kind of be that guy and be that asshole, and that was fun for me. I enjoyed it. He's got one of the most slappable faces, maybe in all of pro wrestling, and he plays the heel role very well. So, I love Christian. Love seeing him back on TV and what he's doing. Also, Powerhouse Hobbs is my third thing. Just looks serious. Looks just like a absolute monster. Um, Taking out Max Caster in less than a minute. I mean, I guess that's the gag now. I didn't really like that. It was clever, but it was not really a thing. It's obviously about just kind of showcasing other people, and Hobbs is a beast. He reminds me of peak Wardlow as far as that level of just aggression and ability to dominate. So I like that. Uh, Okay, so I had to limit this to three, but the three things I didn't like from the show, it's three positive, three negative. 4 fucking hours of a show on a Wednesday night during the summer. I get it, scheduling stuff. They got the NHL, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. I know NBA's got the NBA Finals too, but that doesn't really affect TNT and TBS. I know that obviously Stanley Cup, I believe, does. So I understand you're put kind of in a handcuff here for timing wise. So I don't necessarily fully blame them for this, but at the same point, a 4 hour show on a Wednesday night when people are bitching about SmackDown being 3 on a Friday, at least you have the weekend afterwards. Like, this is the middle of the week, and people are expected to stay up until past midnight because they're going to do an overrun. Yeah, I don't. Not a fan of this, Tony. Again, like I said, not completely possibly their fault because of that, but you could always air it on a different night if you really had to. And still do it in Denver, but I don't, or wherever you're going to be. They're doing it for the next couple of weeks because I'm assuming of the Stanley Cup Finals. But second thing is, who's really a star in this company? I watched my second 2 full hour or 2 2 hour Dynamites in a while, and I can't figure out. I mean, I know MJF is with the Hurt Syndicate, and I think Bobby was presented as kind of that guy. MJF is part of that group, and he's got bigger goals until he starts calling out someone from CMLL, who I don't care. Like, it's like this stuff with AAA and WWE. It's whatever to me. I don't really care that much. At least I know who Vikingo is. I've heard of Mystigo before too. I get it. They're trying to promote Grand Slam Mexico in a couple weeks or whatever it is, but another 4 hour fucking show on a Wednesday. But I don't know, man. It seems kind of strange. Um, Osprey came off a little bit less. I again didn't watch the Collision match, but at the same point, really didn't want to. Didn't really feel as important. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. The crowd was into it. That's great, but I just didn't really find that. And then my third thing here is Kenny Omega. Listen, for the AEW fan base, this dude is the guy. He's their Rock, he's their Cena, he's their whoever you want to call it. He's the dude. He's been there since day one. He's been part of the company. He formed the company, and he's not, stylistically hated by, AEW fans. They don't want him to leave. They want him to stay and keep wrestling. Why? And I get this. It's the creative thing, whatever. But changing the entrance every single time, with a different song or a different theme or whatever it is. I get it. I understand you're trying to be different and be creative. That's cool. But one of the things that usually connects us is the overall presentation to a professional wrestler. When the glass breaks, you know it's Stone Cold. If you start smelling something, you know it's probably going to be The Rock. You know, Cena with the trumpets, all that stuff. I'm using WWE guys as an example, but you get my point. Anywhere. Doesn't matter. It's synonymous. It's like that initial thing, like, oh shit, here he comes. You know, you have to wait for the graphic to show up on the screen or whatever it is, or some random theme that doesn't make sense. Find something that just is killer. Maybe he's had it in the past. I don't know. And then stick with it. So people know it's you. The pop is huge all the time. There's no questions about it. I mean, that's just my thought on Kenny. I didn't watch. I mean, I watched the match obviously, but it wasn't super impressed. Kind of figured he wasn't going to lose. Again, it's a Dynamite. They have to put on all this crazy shit and have nothing happen. So, yeah, I mean, that's my bullet pick with him when it comes to that. And that's my first. Kyle reacts to AEW Dynamite. We will have the full episode of the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast, of course, out on Friday. Remember, Fridays are the new release date for the full episodes, and I'll be back Friday evening as well with a review of SmackDown, the first Kyle reacts to Friday Night SmackDown in this series. And don't forget, obviously, Money in the Bank is this weekend as well. May not be able to get it to you guys Saturday night, but Sunday for sure we'll have a Kyle reacts to WWE Money in the Bank. A lot to get into with that. Always appreciate it. Make sure you give us a like, follow, and subscribe here on the YouTube channel, as well as don't forget Side Hustle Wrestling Pod 216 over on TikTok, as well as the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast 216 over on Instagram. Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast with Double A and Kyle over on Facebook, and all the different media platforms you can follow us on, as well as the audio versions of the podcast over on Odyssey, Spotify, Apple Music, and the iHeartRadio app. And I'm Kyle Cornell. Thanks so much for spending a few moments with me today. I will see you guys on Friday for the full episode of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. And for the next Kyle Reacts, we will get into SmackDown. I will see you guys in just a few short days.